Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Purple Patch. Our guest for today is a really good friend of mine, though we have known each other on and off for about a year. So let me introduce you to our today's guest. He is Mr. Alexey Kobzev. To make it short, he's a professional mechanical engineer and a really good woodcarver. You should check out his Instagram. We'll mention it in the link. And he's been doing it since he was young, and he started really I must say it's really amazing what you do. So any which ways, welcome to the channel and welcome to the show. So as we were discussing, I'll ask you again, how was the lockdown for you? That's a mandatory question we ask everyone. So
first of all, hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me here, and thank you for the nice introduction. And lockdown and the COVID year was actually not too bad for me, because I think Russia was and still is maybe the best place for the lockdowns and so on, because we do not have any lockdown now. So we get some restrictions, some minor ones, like you have to wear a mask when you're in a public place, but that's not that such a big story, right? So and you can travel within Russia. So, but what I'm struggling with is the international traveling. So even if you are vaccinated, and I'm vaccinated with the Russian vaccine, Sputnik V, so you cannot go abroad within. Okay, you can go, but there are some limits, or there are some rules you have to follow. But otherwise, it's still okay. So I'm working mostly from my home office. So I'm visiting my office only like 1 or 2 times a week, which I also find fine for me. So I can concentrate on my business also from my home office, which is fine. So, and I hope your COVID year was not too bad as well.
No, it wasn't. I mean, but yeah, there were a lot of restrictions here. Like in India, we were restricted for and even now we have been restricted. I mean, the grocery shops they remain open until 4 p.m. in the evening, and then after that,
everything is locked up on weekends. So the whole weekend plan goes like this.
Well, it's pretty funny, because I don't think that the virus is actually thinking about weekends or evening times, just to be more relaxed, right?
Yeah. No, it's true that a lot of people get out of the houses on weekends, so there's a complete lockdown on weekends.
All right, yeah. But still, I think so. We just chatted in the beginning about the vaccination. So you get your vaccine prepared in India, right? You get two of that. So in Russia, we get one, or I think we get 5 types of this now. So in Europe, they've developed something in America as well. So hopefully it's going to be released, and the bloody COVID story going to end up soon. So that's what I hope.
Yeah, so. For us, we already have 2 vaccines, right, which are being circulated in the country. So most of us now have taken vaccines, but yet the precautions and the restrictions are there, because we're expecting a 3rd wave right now. So they have imposing restrictions yet.
Okay.
Yes. So Alexey, I'm just asking you that in these lockdown times when people were in their houses and everything, you weren't you got to go out and everything. So did you explore some new art, or something new in your design?
I don't think so, actually. The COVID, the lockdown in Russia was only for 3 months. I mean, 3 months we had to stay home. It's not a long period of time. So what I did is actually not something new in a wood carving. I tried to learn Spanish, but then the lockdown was released, and my Spanish skills just disappeared with the release of the lockdown. So I'm not learning Spanish any longer, unfortunately. But I would say, I mean, my wood carving activities just depends on my main business activities. So when I've got time, I just take my knife and do some carvings. When not, I had to work for for a living as an engineer. But it really depends. So I think last week was pretty much released. I can show you maybe something.
Yes, please.
I get prepared. So I'm not sure if you guys know what this is actually. Do you know?
Those are Russian dolls, right?
That's correct. That are the Russian dolls. So and I can also show you. You plug in one into another. So like that.
Oh. Okay.
And you've got the biggest one. So this is actually made of 2 or 3 things, and this is not completed yet. You can see there are some items which are not covered here. But as I said, so today I had some time, and I did, I think, maybe 10% of the bigger one. So hopefully next week I'm gonna complete this, and you can see I think some more pictures in my Instagram, and you can find the doll also on my Etsy shop.
It's really
and
beautiful.
Maybe, thank you. And maybe I'm gonna also apply some color, like this is a cup stand.
Wow.
This is covered by special paint and waxed because it should withstand some water. Because when you put your like that, if you put your glass on and you get some water on that, so the wax actually withstands the water and it's not going to damage it anyhow. And you can, I'm not sure if the camera shows well, but you can see some shiny some shine on that, right? It's also due to the wax applied. Yes, and actually, thank you. And it takes some time for me to complete. And the doll, I think I started that about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that is pretty long actually. And I can also show you this small box.
Right.
Is that a jewelry box?
Jewelry box. I think for rings or something like that. And
we should get something like that, Tanushri. We have a lot of jewelry to keep.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Maybe you need some bigger one. I'm not sure. So I think in India that's kind of tradition of wearing some gold necklace and rings and so on, right? So, and this one I did pretty fast. I think I completed it in a couple of days because I just had some time. And maybe I can show another one, which is similar size, but different design.
Wow.
And actually, one of the plate like that, I recently shipped to India. So this is a small one. This is a small one. Yeah, you can see this. But I think the plate I shipped to India was twice bigger than this one, and that was a guy who is actually collecting some wooden items. Very nice guy. So if he sees this video, so just I sent him my greetings.
Well, we definitely hope it reaches him too.
It actually.
I think it was shipped to Delhi, if I'm not mistaken. So to another state, right? So it really depends. I mean, for me, it's going to be really tough for to live for my carvings because it's only my hobby, and since it takes such a long time, I mean, to complete something, and the price I can sell for is not that high. So I want to do as a hobby, and I'm very happy when somebody is ordering something. You know, when I get an order, I've got on my mobile phone. You get first of all, like you get your Gmail message, and immediately you get your PayPal message, right? So, and the second one, makes me satisfied that somebody is interested in my job as well. So that's how it looks like.
How do you gather so much of patience to do these things? Because obviously it requires
that's a question.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. You know, my Instagram channel called Zen carving, and Zen is something where you need some patience, and that's why I call that. And when I do some carvings, it's a very relaxed and meditative process because you need to make some repetitive actions again and again, and you also need to. I might show you that. For example, here you also need to consider the structure of the wood. I mean, the wood is like that, right? And when you carve here, you need to understand how much pressure you should apply, or which direction you should make the cut, and so on. And I do it, almost automatically because, I started as a kid and I can understand. But I think it is an activity which my brain generates, and it's making me relax, so I can concentrate on some background music, or I can watch some videos. In the meanwhile, so but it takes a lot of time, but it doesn't really disturbing me. I'm not really in a hurry to complete anything because, as I said, it's under my habit, right? And I also can show you the tool which I use. It's only one knife. This is the knife.
Okay.
Very simple one. So I think I purchased this one from UK only for 10 euros or something like that. Right. And 10 euros was the delivery to Russia, so 20 euros in total. And with a single knife, you can do the carving like that. So I mean, you don't need to have some workshop. You don't need to have some special tools, some chisels, and so on. So it's, in my opinion, it's very minimalistic, and you don't require lots of investment. I would say so. But you should invest your patience, as you said. So it's something you need to understand.
Maybe. And has your patience developed in the in the recent times when you've started doing it more? Does it increase with the art form?
It's a good question. Well, actually, if you check my works, the pattern is also improving. I mean, I try to do some finer cuts, smaller cuts, and well, let's still see this Russian doll. So if you check this tiny, so this element like that, so you need to have some feeling how to do this, and it's not so easy. So if you check other carvers, you might see that they mostly do the elements like that. I mean, you see quite simple ones, because it's simply easier to carve. And another thing is how you combine some elements and how you do the patterns. So, for example, here I'm trying to combine the longer cuts with the smaller cuts, and also sometimes I let some space in between just to let the pattern breathe and be more relaxed. So because if I show you this like that, you can also realize this is a kind of flower here, and that are some other things. And for example, here, if you see like that, you can, I think you hardly can understand something, right? So you need to think about the whole picture, right? How it's going to be looking. And I think it's not something I really developed over the years, but maybe I will someday develop something here as well.
So do you actually practice Zen lifestyle with your carvings, or?
I think so. It's not. It's like my basic lifestyle. So as I mentioned, I only use one single knife with this nice leather cover. I don't also have a lot of things in my apartment. So you can see the white wall on behind. So, and yeah, maybe I can also share then some pics as well. So, and also for my business life, I think I also try to practice only the necessary things and eliminate some unnecessary work. So yeah, I would say so, right?
So whatever suits you, you accommodate in your life, right? As far as I've come to know.
Yeah, but also I think it's interesting to combine, because all over the day I had to work on my laptop sitting home or in the office, right? And it's like you're always watching on the screen, right? And in your free time, don't lie to me. I think you're watching your mobile phone, I think, very, very frequently, right? So
absolutely, totally. There's nothing else.
And that's why I think this kind of hobby is something which is non-digital, right? Something which you do by your hands, and where you don't need any screen, nor of your laptop or nor of your mobile phone or even your ebook, right? So yeah, it's something I think traditional. That's something you also can practice wherever you want. So with a knife, you can go outside, sit on a bank, and just do some carving. Yeah.
Nice. It sounds like a perfect evening for you.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoy this. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your most favorite creations? Like, one of those things that you've really liked about after making it?
Yeah, recently I actually posted some videos how to carve, but it's pretty much challenging to make this video, because if you just put your camera and fixed and do some carvings, I cannot watch the camera view. I need to concentrate on the wood itself, right? And the camera doesn't always focusing correctly. So I have to ask somebody to make the film for me. And people don't really like to make long videos like for half an hour, or so nobody gonna do this. So that's why I'm just trying to make some short videos and post it, right? So, and I think the way I carve is a bit different from the traditional one. So, and I got many comments that, okay, thank you. So that's a nice view. That's another style of how you hold your knife, or how you do the cuts. So it's something which people appreciate. And I also posted some videos on YouTube, and actually the videos where I just show some items are not that popular, but the videos where I carve are the most popular ones. I think that are the other wood carvers who are watching this and trying to maybe copy, or trying to get something here for them.
Right. Yeah. So how do you basically choose your wood? Like, maybe there is some pattern to it, right? Or maybe you choose for different articles different kind of woods. So how do you
no, actually, I choose always one type of wood. This is the best wood, because it's the right wood, I think, for chip carving. It's soft enough, and if you want to do some tiny cuts, like for example here on the cover, you need the wood to be soft enough for that. So if you go for oak or some walnut, it's going to be very tough. I mean, it would take me ages to make a single cut, right? And it's not going to be so precise and so on. But if you cover basswood with some polish, with a wax, it's going to be protected from the ambient conditions enough, and it's going to last you for many years. So I get some, from time to time, I get some requests to make something special out of walnut or oak. But I always deny, because it's almost impossible. So if you want to do such a tiny carvings, maybe you need to go with the CNC machines or something like that. But it's not something connected with art. It's just woodworking, I guess.
Okay.
Achha, how do you decide on your design? Like, do you have a design already in mind while you do that, or everything just comes when you start doing it?
I want actually to provide some new designs. I mean, some sketches on the paper, but I'm quite lazy, and as I said, so I have not so much time for carving. So that's why I'm just taking the blank, taking the wood. I'm taking the. I'm gonna show you this as well. Like this instrument and a pencil. You know how to operate with that? I think, right? So and I just start to do some sketches and try to combine some internal elements. So I think, yeah, it's a good idea to practice something in upfront on the paper and then select some nice ideas, some better patterns. And in fact, I did some patterns which I also sell on my shop, but I did it not on the paper. I did it on in a digital format, so people can just download that and apply to their patterns. And maybe in the future I'm going to develop some new patterns as well. But yeah, in the end of the day, it's only my hobby. So and I'm lazy, so usually I start just from scratch, right? So what came up, what is in my mind is just going to be drawn on the blank.
Yes, like these days, in India, we are seeing a lot of youngsters practicing mandalas. Okay, and mandala is that unique style that can incorporate that you can incorporate with even Manjri is to follow that.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and you must actually if you get a chance do search for it if you feel like, because the kind of designs you showed me on the circle on that circular article, I think it might help you to just get an inspiration from that.
That's a nice idea, right? So I think that most of, or maybe not most, but many of my subscribers, they do some how it's called Zen art or Zen tangle or whatever, mandalas, and I think it's something which was developed in India, right? It's something which is connected to your traditional art and so on. So, and that's why, it's kind of inspiring me as well. So I think I need to learn more about that.
Yeah. So you can. I mean, I just thought that the kind of carvings you do, maybe it helps you.
So all right. So mandala is basically you start in the center and then you keep on adding to it. So that that can actually you can actually use those designs as well.
Thank you. So I will try to maybe to copy some objects, some patterns. So it's a good idea, right?
Right. So what strategy do you follow when you do carving? Like, is
there you have a particular way that you do it in, or?
There is actually no strategy, so it depends on my mood. Sometimes I try to make all the same elements in the one shift. I would say sometimes I do it like I try to cut out some new elements just to understand how it looks like. But there is no really something I can call a strategy, right? So it's you just take your knife and carve, right? But thinking about the patterns and about the objects I do, so I try to understand what people like the most. So, for example, some in Europe, these cup stands are pretty much popular. I sold, I think, last year 5 of them to Germany, because in Germany they like beer and they put the beer cups on that. So in India, as I said, so the cup, the very big one was sold to Delhi, and I think the guy just put the plate on the wall to decor his house. And I did only one a Russian doll in the past that was that tall, I think, bigger than this one. Consisting of five dolls, and I sold that to friends. I think this that was like this April. So, and I'm trying to work with different objects and to understand what is more popular. But actually, I cannot tell you what is popular. So it's always unexpected, right? So what people like.
Right. So has it ever happened to you, like when people are into some hobby, especially when they are doing something artsy, or I mean any form of art, if they're following, right, as their hobby, they always take it as a retreat. Like if they had a bad day, they come back to it, and then if they had a fight with something and they come back to it. Like, has it ever helped you that way, that you had a really bad mood and then you sat with it and you felt like, yeah, now I'm at peace?
Um, Well, actually, I tried to start with some item and do it till the end. But sometimes when I don't really like the item, or maybe I don't like the button, I just throw it away. So I have there is no need for me actually to proceed with that if I don't like something, and this is just a piece of wood. So you can get another one and start from beginning. But I think over the years, I tried to develop the buttons I think which are going to be applicable. And most of the items which I did in the last 2-3 years, I started and I did it till the end. So, right. But as I said, so this is only a hobby, and mostly it's my main activity as an engineer, which dictates me if I have time for carrying or not. So yeah.
Right. So like, how did it all start? Like, what was the beginning to it?
How old were you when you started doing it?
I think the first activities with the wood I did when I was 6 or something like that. But the real carving activity, I think it was like 11 maybe or something. And that was really some big items, big cuts. And I also cut it myself quite frequently. And over the years, so I started to develop to make it more tiny. And now when I started, I also had lots of tools, like lots of chisels, lots of knives, because I practiced different types of carvings and different patterns. Now I decided to actually stay with only one knife. And in Russia, we've got lots of studios for kids where you can practice wood carving or painting or whatever. So, and that time when I started, PCs were not that widely shown in these studios. So that's why I chose that time wood carving. And I think the second course I had was drawing with a pencil. So, and I think this both are combined in my current art as well. Yeah, and then I think that was an era of IT and so on, and that's why I decided to study mechanical engineering, and so I have nothing to do with the wood on my professional life, but I still enjoy my hobby.
Right.
Tanushree, do you remember what you were doing when you were 6?
I don't. And I really don't, because I haven't kept on doing the same thing, right, for a really long time. He actually realized that he wants to do this at the age of 6, and then he continued doing it. So that's a big thing. Because for me, it wasn't anything that I was doing at 6 or at the age of 11 that I would have continued doing.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, so I mean, for me, it's really important to make something by hand, because you can see the result of your work like immediately, right? And when you sit in front of your laptop, so okay, you can see the result when you upload your YouTube video or anything, but it's all digital, right? So, and you cannot touch this. So, and this is important for me to work with the real materials, and wood. I think wood is a perfect material. So you can feel it, you can feel the pattern of the wood and so on. So it's pretty nice.
So was there anybody who guided you through it, like, who helped you making these patterns?
Well, I think I had good teachers when I was young as a kid. There was actually I visited 2 studios. So the first one were more about by doing some hard woodwork, by cutting something out, by working with some different machines and so on. And the second one was more about art and about the carving itself. So I think I visited both studios till I was 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. So and then I decided to leave it and to do and proceed by myself. So after that, nobody actually guided me, and yeah, unfortunately. So maybe it's a good idea to visit some woodwork classes or something like that. But still, I mean, I don't have time for that, unfortunately. Maybe in the future I will try to proceed with that activities. But yeah, unfortunately.
Is there a particular thing in your mind, maybe that you want to take classes for this art?
I don't think it's needed to classify the art to some particular way, right? So it's just what I want to do. I mean, yeah, I think some people like the way they carve by, I mean, holding the knife and do the cuts. Yeah, somebody is more excited to do the patterns and to draw, right? As for me, I like both. I like the process. I don't hurry up with the process. So I just, as we discussed, it's like a Zen style, right? It's a meditative practice. So frankly, I cannot tell you if it's something particular. I can just put this or this into a certain category.
Right. Okay. So like anybody's designs that you saw in the recent times and you felt like, okay, I want to like know how did they come up with that? Has that happened to you anytime?
Yeah, there were some people who asked me for support. I provided some advices, but it's really hard to teach somebody online, right? Because wood carving is something you need to show quite precise. I mean, how a person holds the knife, how to cut, right? So I did some videos. I mean, how I hold the knife, how I do the cuts, but I don't really think it's much. That's a lot of help actually. So unfortunately, but if somebody going to be here in Moscow and would ask me for a support, I'll be happy to support.
Yeah. Right. So any tips for people who are doing it, or any tips for people who are going to come out on Instagram and put up the page and everything? So do you have any advice for them?
Or maybe someone who wants to start learning how to wood carve.
For all the beginners, my advice would be just begin. I mean, it's obvious. You don't. I mean, the advice is pretty clear. So you don't need any special tools. So you need only one knife, which I can recommend. This one. It costs you $10 to $20 or euros or something. It's not a big deal, right? So you can get the wood from your local shop, I think, right? You can buy your pencil and that's it. So then you just slowly try to do some cuts, and you then would realize the pattern of the wood, how you can proceed with that, and so on. Just practice, and that's it, right? So, and of course, in the beginning, you're gonna cut yourself because it's just the way you learn, right? So just be very careful with that. And I mean, okay, with this knife, you cannot really kill yourself, right? So it's like you can just get a minor injury. But just if you enjoy this, you're gonna proceed, and I think you're gonna see some progress on that.
Right.
So, frankly, I saw some nice Instagram accounts with nice style of chip carving, and I really enjoy that people are progressing. I don't want to be alone on the chip carving. We can share our minds, and we can maybe also steal something from each other in the way we care for it, the way we do the patterns. So it's really impressive.
Yeah. Any recent inspiration that you would like to share?
Inspiration is nature, I would say. Inspiration would be different cultures, as we discussed. I think India is something which inspires in terms of different patterns and different colors, and the tradition. I think India is the country with a huge tradition. In Russia, we get also some different styles of churches and so on, but for me, it's really hard to apply the style, the Russian style, to the carving which I do, because it's a bit just hard to carve out, right? Yeah, and inspiration is that you would do something by your hands and you would see the result of your carving. It's not something you store on your laptop. It's something you can hold and something you can give as a present to somebody. Or if you're lucky, it's something you can also sell online and ship to other country and get some appreciation from abroad, which is great. And also the video we're making right now is for me, it's a huge appreciation. So thank you for that. Thank you for your interest. So it's just my pleasure.
Okay, yeah, I actually have one question. What exactly is the significance of these Russian dolls?
I have no idea what is the significance, because it's, okay, in Russia, we tell it is quite Russian traditional, doll, but I think in Japan, they call it maybe Japan doll, and they call it, I forgot the Japanese name, but I think something similar is in Japan as well. It's just a decor, I think. So people just draw that on their tables and so on. And I think it's something just typical Russian in the mind of the maybe the majority of the world. And since I'm Russian, I'm based in Moscow, so I just wanted to share my art with something traditional, right? So some people might like that, and some people might want to decor their houses with that. So I would be happy with that. Good.
Okay, so does it get difficult, carving across the lines?
Carving across the lines it's just the way you carve. So you need to I think to make your fingers quite strong, right? So there is some tool for like expander or something, how you call that, right? Just to make your fingers stronger. And that's the way how you're gonna carve in this direction, right? Because you have to apply some pressure here. So just practice, I would say, and yeah, keep patterns. Don't get worried if something is not happening as you expected. Over the years, you will definitely see some progress.
Yeah, I think practice and to just begin with whatever you want is, I think, is a message for every artist possible, because every art requires equal kind of practice in everything, as far as I know. Because even if a person is pursuing music or writing or any kind of art form, each art form equally requires patience and hard work to build upon it.
Yeah, I think it's in every activity you do. So you need to practice, you need to have some experience, and don't get worried if something is not working as you wish it to work. So just practice. But first of all, you need to enjoy this. So if you are not enjoying what you do, so why do you actually do this activity? So that would be my advice, right?
Yeah. Also, Alexey, I just had one a trivia in my mind. People say that you should love what you do. But then sometimes when we convert our hobbies into the working thing and they get monetized like that, people start losing interest in them. I've also seen that happening. So do you think that, if you would have monetized whatever you're doing right now, like monetized in the sense that, you would have gone big with it and you would have made factories with it or whatever it is, do you think that, you might have, you would have started losing your interest in it a bit?
So if I would lose an interest of what I'm doing, so I just make a pause and then I'm going to proceed when I'm going to have my interest back, right? So, and you should not concentrate only on a single hobby. So you might go for a sport or some other activities. So don't I think over stress you if you just need to, if you don't have interest, just quit this. So but for me, it just works. It's not like I'm practicing every day, or maybe sometimes I cannot practice for a week or two, but I still like it, and so just try to find something else if you are not interested in the hobby you did.
Right. Because like I personally like writing a lot. So the thing is,
Okay.
but if
You're a
you
really
tell
good
me
writer.
that you have to do this 24/7 and you'll have to do it every day, maybe
Mm.
then I would not like, then writing would not be my hobby for long, right? Then it'll it'll be like, okay, I'm
Okay.
not doing it every day. My maybe, and then coming to the deadlines and everything, it just gets very structural, and that is something that's when your art loses its form. So that is something that I was coming on to with it.
I think it's called professionalism, right? So if you can do one piece of art, it's like, okay, you tried this. But if you can do many pieces of art for a longer time, so it's called professionalism. So, and I think people over the years just try to add something new in your daily activity, or maybe you can just I don't know, change a bit what you do, and then you're gonna be inspired back. So that's I had never had such a kind of problem, but yeah, tell me then how you solve this issue. So I'm gonna be interested.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I was like, whenever I've come across this thing that you should make your hobby as your full time job, I've always been that person who's come, like, who has taken a step back. That I would not do that, because that is something when I get tired of my corporate life, or if I get tired of my career, whatever it is, I would come back to something that is called writing. Like, right, then it only becomes a personal thing. Tomorrow, if I start writing for people otherwise, then it is not any personal, right? Then I would lose my thing. That is some like that is
Okay.
something.
Okay, you just take a paper and just put some lines like hobby number 1, hobby number 2, and hobby number 3 or 4, and then you would never gonna be bored, because you get lots of hobbies, and you're gonna just jump from one hobby to another one. So, and just get inspired by a new hobby as well. So, and I think if you want to bring your hobby to a profession, so why do you think you can only bring one hobby to profession, right? You can bring some different hobbies to profession, right? So I don't know, you can do the texting, you can write, you can do some videos, you can do, I don't know, translation maybe, so whatever. So, and you're gonna enjoy and jump from one to another. And I'm not sure if you got this I'm not sure if it's also in English, but in Russian, in Russia we say so. Your rest is a change of activity. So, right, you change the activity, and then it means you get your rest. So, yeah, that would be my advice here.
Yeah, it's a great insight actually that you've given right now.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so I think that was it. Thank you so much, Alexey, for joining us today. Really loved having you here, and absolutely amazing work that you do. And guys, do check out his
Thanks
Instagram.
a lot.
He is really amazing.
Yes, he is.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for the invitation. That's my pleasure to talk to you. That was really a nice chat. Yeah, and wishing your channel all the best to develop. And yeah, please proceed like you do. Thanks a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
so wishing you a good evening.
Yeah, same to you.
You too.
All right.
So to the viewers sitting at home, stay safe, stay tuned. We'll be back with more podcast content. We'll mention his Instagram in the link below. Do like, share, comment, and subscribe, and do let us know what kind of video you want to watch next. Till then, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.